Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we've got the Atom Racing Team Double D race, which stands for Double Draft, no less. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about how I managed to stay with the front group of this one. Now I am a mid to low category B rider, relatively new to the actual category itself. And, you know, for a lot of these races, for me, just staying with the main group for as long as possible is successful. And you've obviously got to have your own goals on Zwift. For some of you, you know, who are very strong within your category, you're going to be thinking, well, it's easy for me to stay in the same group. And I would love to be in that position, but I am not. So I'm just going to talk you through maybe a couple of things that I did in this race and just a couple of pointers overall that you might actually find useful if you're in a similar position to me. And if you're not, then just enjoy the race, enjoy the suffering. So the first thing I would say is obviously getting off to a good start and just putting everything into this little kind of surge that you get at the start of races. You can see by my power graph that I've already put down quite a significant amount of power, especially in these all category starts. So this was an all category start. Now I'm fully aware that at some point the categories will separate themselves and you'll have a kind of natural selection. But firstly, all I would say is make sure you're keeping an eye on who's going up the road. So just as you can see, there's a couple that have gone off the front there during that little bit of an incline, only a very tiny bump in the road. But they're all A's. You can see on the map on the top right-hand side, the red colour, and off they go. So now all I'm going to do is kind of draft this group for as long as I can and just, you know, use my energy to stay at the back of this pack. I'm not going to go off chasing that front group because that is frankly not my race. And if I would, then I would definitely fall off the back of this pack as well. So yeah, I've done a pretty good job, I would say, 11 minutes into this race. Now, this, as I said before, is a flat race. So I would pick races that obviously suit your strengths and that you enjoy as well. I do quite enjoy the flatter races from time to time because I would say it's easier for me, you know, to stay in the group with my FTP as it is. I've not got the highest FTP, but, you know, I've got a tiny bit of a kick, a tiny bit of a punch. And as we come through that second little incline there, my heart rate got pretty high. But once again, I just used everything I possibly had there to stay with this group. And sometimes these races are really good to build your mental strength. So a couple of things I told myself before this race is it's going to hurt, okay? There's going to be a time in the race or a couple of times in the race where the legs are going to want to say, no, stop, but you've just got to push through that. And as long as you've told yourself that and expect it, that really has helped me with, you know, especially in this race, staying with the front group. Now, the second thing is to make sure, so for example, this little incline, you can see by the graph again down the bottom that I really gave it a little kick there. And I just have to give it everything until, you know, that eventual snap. And at this point, I haven't quite snapped yet. And it's these kind of times where you've just gone over the incline that you get to have a little bit of a rest. See, I'm doing about 200 watts there, which is a good resting point for me. Also, try and have a look at the course beforehand, you know where the little bumps are. As we go through these little rollers here, I know that this is going to be a section where I need to keep alert and stay with this group. But once again, I'm just hanging out at the back here. I don't want to be pushing the pace. I do come through to the front at this point because I know there's a little bit of an incline. So definitely get to know the course. Have a look on Zwift Insider. He's got some great information. And it makes it more interesting. I think, well, for me personally, it makes it more interesting knowing the course and getting to know, you know, Watopia and all the different worlds within Zwift itself. The other thing to remember is whilst you're, you know, doing your best and you know it's hurting and, you know, you're preparing yourself for that, just think everybody else is in the same position as well. So at this point, I know that we're going to come up to some more tiny little bit of incline. Now, they're not massive bumps, but, you know, everyone else is going to be hurting at this point as well. Use your power-ups wisely. So I had a feather there, so I just used it on the little bump. But yeah, everyone else is going to be hurting. So everyone is in the same position as you probably are. So take a bit of comfort in that. And also, don't forget, we do this for fun, don't we? This is, you know, I did this on a Saturday. I really look forward to doing these kind of little random races. And I do it for fun. Hopefully you do it all for fun as well. And, you know, if it doesn't happen and you don't manage to stay with the front group, then that's also okay because it's good practice. And, you know, next time you will probably, you know, be able to stay with the front group. Or even if it's not next time, it could be the time after that. So, you know, just keep that positive mindset all the way through. And as I said before, this is a great way to actually build mental strength on the bike, I feel. I've been dropped in so many races, and every time I either get frustrated with myself because I wasn't giving it everything, as I said in my one of my previous points, or I just wasn't fit enough, or wasn't strong enough on the bike. And it's okay, it is okay. It's not the end of the world. As I said, we do it for fun, so yeah, just enjoy it, basically. So we're coming to the end of the race now. I've got 4.3 miles to go, 40 minutes in. You can see by the power graph that it's been spiking up and down and up and down. This was such a difficult race for me, but at this point with 3 miles to go, I'm thinking, right, there's no way that I want to let this slip, and I could potentially get quite a good result here. There's 147 competitors. The A's have gone ahead. Within the B category, I'm probably top half, I would say, at this point. I know there was a little bump here. I was in a lot of pain at this point, like loads of pain, and I knew that this kind of drag up to the desert was also going to be very difficult, because on previous races, this is where it normally gets a little bit faster as well. So just using experience from previous races. Now, there is one thing that I could probably improve on, and that is the finishing sometimes for races. So obviously my job, I'm thinking now, is done with 1.3 miles to go. I'm happy that I've done what I wanted to. I've completed my challenge for the day, and that is staying with this front group. What I didn't do here was finish the race off very well. So I kind of come through the final little stage here, and unfortunately I didn't manage to go for the sprint finish, but in my eyes my job was pretty much done. So here are the Zwift power results. You can see that I finished 12th, which is roughly halfway through the pack. Some, pretty good watts per kilogram there for me, so I'm quite happy with that. Some good training and an enjoyable Saturday afternoon. So I really hope that's helped some of you out there that are new to categories. And good luck in your races. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.